ESPN has suspended SportsCenter host Jemele Hill for violating its social media policy. Deed to passive Hill Getty Images. For Advertising Week New York. Jemele Hill, the SportsCenter host on ESPN, whose tweets last month calling President Trump a white supremacist caused the White House to call for her firing, was suspended on Monday for once again running afoul of the company's social media policy. After the Dallas Cowboys owner, Jerry Jones, said Sunday that he would bench any players who disrespect the flag, Hill suggested on Twitter that fans who disagreed with Jones' stance should boycott Cowboys advertisers. Change happens when advertisers are impacted, she wrote. If you feel strongly about JJ's statement, boycott his advertisers. She later clarified that she was not calling for an NFL boycott but was pointing out the unfair burden placed upon players. She also noted that some fans who supported players kneeling during the national anthem were continuing to watch NFL games. ESPN said in a statement that Hill was suspended for a second violation of our social media guidelines. She will not appear on television for the next 2 weeks. A spokesman for the company declined to say which specific guideline she had violated or whether she would be paid during the suspension. She previously acknowledged letting her colleagues and company down with an impulsive tweet, the statement said. After her tweets about Trump last month, Hill, who is African American, expressed regret that the posts had painted ESPN in an unfair light but did not otherwise apologize. John Skipper, ESPN's president, wrote an internal memo emphasizing that employees were allowed to participate in public discussion of political matters, but in doing so must abide by the company's social media guidelines. Hill, 41, did not appear on Monday night's SportsCenter, and neither did her co-host, Michael Smith, who is also African American. Instead, Matt Berry hosted alone, on a standard set missing the SC6 branding that usually accompanies Hill and Smith's show. Trump and his surrogates have criticized the NFL for allowing players to kneel or sit during the playing of the anthem. But Jones' comments raised the possibility of a showdown between some of its most powerful owners and the players' union. Jones' remarks were the most strident comments yet by an owner in the debate over the players' right to protest during the anthem. He made the comments after the Cowboys' 3,531 loss to the Green Bay Packers on Sunday night. Jones was asked about Vice President Mike Pence, who attended an Indianapolis Colts game earlier in the day but walked out after about 24 players with the visiting San Francisco 49ers knelt during the national anthem. Pence later tweeted, "I left today's Colts game because at POTUS and I will not dignify any event that disrespects our soldiers, our flag, or our national anthem," referring to Trump. Pence, who flew from Las Vegas for the game and then traveled to Los Angeles later Sunday, was criticized for what many felt was a premeditated political stunt. Jones has been the most vocal of the 32 owners in saying that his players should stand. After his team lost to the Packers on Sunday, he went much further. Jones brushed aside a question about 2 Cowboys players who had raised their fists at the end of the anthem. "But if there is anything that is disrespectful to the flag, then we will not play," he told the Dallas Morning News. "You understand, if we are disrespecting the flag, then we won't play. Period." Jones and the entire team took a knee on the field before the anthem on Sept. 25. The players who have protested by sitting or kneeling during the anthem have insisted that they are not disrespecting the flag or the military, but rather trying to raise awareness of police brutality and racial injustice in the United States. Jones' comments were the clearest sign yet that the owners are eager to move on from the public relations crisis. But they may have inadvertently stirred up a more fractious fight with the NFL Players Association. Late Sunday, the union issued a statement that defended its members' right to free expression. "It is a source of enormous pride that some of the best conversations about these issues have taken place in our locker rooms in a respectful, civil and thoughtful way that should serve as a model for how all of us can communicate with each other," the union said. "We should not stifle these discussions and cannot allow our rights to become subservient to the very opinions our Constitution protects. That is what makes us the land of the free and home of the brave. Good morning. My statement. pic.twitter.com/7kixerz20. Damari Smith at Desmond-Nilpa. October 9, 2017. The Dolphins owner, Stephen M. Ross, who has backed the players' right to protest, appears to be changing his stance. He told the Miami Herald that while many players insist their protests are about raising awareness of social injustice, the president has changed that whole paradigm of what protest is by turning it into a proxy for respect for the flag and support of the military.